Professor Anna Franklin. I'm the director of the Sussex Baby Lab at the University of Sussex, and I do research on how babies see and interact with the visual world, and particularly focus on how they see colour. There's a persistent myth that babies can only see in black and white. Babies have got pretty sophisticated colour vision from just a couple of months. Around about 3/4 of newborns can see a red on a grey background. But the colours for newborns have to be really intense, and over the first couple of months their colour vision develops dramatically. Babies' vision is pretty poor when they're newborns, and you'll notice that they'll look at things which are kind of high contrast, the edges of window frames or the corners of the room. What's actually kind of common throughout their development is the liking of looking at faces. So even if you squint, a face is still interesting. Babies learn a lot from looking at faces, and even a baby who's an hour old will be able to track a face. Infants, even a couple of hours old, will look longer at the mother's face than strangers' faces. And it's thought that they're able to do this by hearing the mother's voice whilst they're in the womb. When they're out in the world, they're able to recognise that voice and realise that, oh, this is an important face that goes with the voice that's familiar to them. Colour is important in our vision because it's an inherent property of the visual world. Colour gives you a lot of information about things. So, for example, it tells you where the food is ripe. We use colour to group things or to signal emotion. For example, our cheeks go red when we're embarrassed. So colour has got a lot of important information in it. Development of colour vision is a pretty automatic process. So as long as you don't have a genetic deficiency, which means that you're colourblind in some way, then your ability to see colour will naturally develop. There's no need for colour vision to be taught. The black and white books and visual aids for babies comes about because there was some research by a person called Fantz in the 70s which showed that babies would look for a long time at black and white patterns. And the reason for that is that there's high contrast, not because they can't see in colour. If you were only to expose babies to those kinds of stimuli, those kinds of visual aids, you would be providing a much less rich environment than babies are actually capable of seeing. For parents, it's just important to know that there's not really a need for lots of stimulating aids and that kind of thing, and the natural world is really rich with experience and things to stimulate visual development. Every parent can observe their baby's visual development, and it's really fascinating. Every parent remembers that first moment when they lock eyes with their baby and they exchange a smile. That's quite a beautiful journey to follow.